Hey everyone, what is up and welcome back to Terraria. I'm Arcade and today I decided to show off my non-existent gamer skills by beating Master Mode Terraria with only event weapons. I can only use weapons that are drops or craftables from events like the Goblin Army, Frostmoon, Old One's Army, or anything else that the wiki considers an event. And yes, you heard right, not classic, not expert, but Master Mode. That way I can impress all the females that I don't talk to. I make my character, load into the world, and eagerly start this challenge, as I cannot wait to complete it and put it on my job application at Walmart. I immediately start by chopping down some trees, which will later be used to imprison my NPCs. Unfortunately for me, I make the mistake of venturing slightly to the right of my world, and the park rangers, aka a singular eater of souls, and the flying fish double team me. But don't worry, I respawn and head back there immediately because I do not learn from my mistakes. I then get reminded that this is Master Mode and that I have no weapon. This time I respawn and head left. The Eater of Souls does not care. He follows me and mockingly tells me to enjoy the 15-second timer that I will become too familiar with. I rapidly mine downward in order to avoid getting smacked once again by final boss, Eater of Souls. On my first chest, I get blessed with a pair of Hermes boots, followed by a useless ass maze, and a cloud in a bottle. Let's go! Our luck is finally turning around. I cannot wait to see what else this cave has in store for us. It had darts. I head back and mine whatever puny ores the mobs will let me have in order to make some type of armor. However, I refuse to believe that this is actually protecting me, as I am getting slaughtered by a literal flower. Luckily, I find some much needed life crystals in the underground ice biome. I must be careful though, as the ice biome is home to some powerful enemies, such as this ice slime. But worry not, as I will simply jump over him. I decide that now is as good a time as any to start making my NPC prisons. We quickly make our 5-star hotel, and mine all the way down to get a bucket of lava. We then break a corruption orb and immediately are greeted with the message that nasty, disease-infested, sweaty goblins are invading our world. Unfortunately, they arrived sooner than expected and my lava trap was not complete. By the way, no, I do not have a grave filter on. I have simply died so many times that the game made a graveyard biome. Wow, that does not sound good. Yeah, no, it's a filter. Yep, that's what it is. After a very messy goblin army, we end up with our first event weapons, a harpoon and 8 spiky balls. Woo! Well, while we were able to use the harpoon and spiky balls, we're going to need more in order to beat some bosses. So we head to the edge of the world and wait in anticipation for a goblin scout to spawn. I love this part. Once he finally shows up, we quickly dispose of him, steal his cloth, and finish our lava trap. We then manually summon the goblins. Spoilers, we do this event many times, all in order to get spiky balls. After seeing nothing but goblins for a week straight, I was actually relieved when I saw a giant floating eye hurling its way toward me. We coat the entire arena in sharp, painful, spiky balls and quickly shred the eye. With the first boss defeated, we not only get a beautiful trophy, but also get the Shield of Cthulhu, which allows us to dash in any direction. With our new accessory, spiky balls, and our useless harpoon, we venture into the corruption in order to avenge our previous humiliation. We summon the Eater of Worlds and proceed to get absolutely swagged on. God damn it. We respawn, angry, embarrassed, and even more humiliated than we previously thought possible. So we head back and challenge the worm again. This time with every conceivable potion buff to compensate for my small dick. We absolutely delete him from existence, while the remaining Eater of Souls watched in horror from the sidelines. You would think that this is enough. It is not, as we then transform his remains into my scarf. Disgusting? Of course. Uncomfortable? Certainly. Disease-ridden? Most definitely. But it reduces all damage taken by 17%, so we will wear it. With 2 bosses defeated, we head all the way to the dungeon and meet this strange old man.
You cannot hope to face my master.
Master? Dungeon? Oh, wow, you guys are kinky.
Free me, I beg you!
Alright, fine. I'll give it a shot.
Worthless.
Screw you, stay cursed. I'm heading to the jungle. Who likes the jungle anyway? Alright, let's try the skeleton again. After many attempts, we finally managed to whittle down Skeletron. By the way, I sure wish I had rocket boots for this fight. Sure would have made this whole thing a lot easier. But nope! Can't happen. Oh, and if you're wondering how many attempts it took me to beat him, the answer is... enough! We finally get access to the dungeon and oh look! A bound goblin! Great! Because I really needed to empty this bucket of lava. But surely I wouldn't get rid of one of the most valuable NPCs just because I'm petty, right? Burn. After leaving the dungeon, we decide it's time to fight the Wall of Flesh. So we head down to the Nether Realm and make our bridge. We get incredibly close on our first attempt, but unfortunately our bridge was simply too small. A statement that I am all too familiar with. Now the rational thing would be to just lengthen our bridge. However, I am stubborn and want to work with what I got. It does not end well, and eventually I am forced to lengthen our bridge, proving once and for all, bigger is in fact better. We summon the Wall of Flesh once more and rapidly place spiky balls everywhere we go. As the battle continues, I am realizing that I am getting near the end of my bridge, and the wall is in fact speeding up. I do what many would call a pro gamer move and jump off the platform, and in a desperate final attempt manage to beat the Wall of Flesh. Hooray! We are officially in hard mode. Which is great because now we have access to a lot more events, such as
the Goblin Army.
Unfortunately, I am not joking, the Goblin Army has a hard mode variant. My god, last time I saw this many goblins, I was watching an adult animated film. So after farming the Goblin Summoner, we get the Shadow Flame Hex Doll, the Shadow Flame Knife, and the Shadow Flame Bow, which are all infinitely better than using spiky balls. With our new weapons, we decide to challenge the Destroyer. I really need rocket boots. After blessing the world with hard mode ores, we make a full set of adamantite armor and spend the entirety of the night chucking throwing knives at a mechanical worm. After we defeat the Destroyer, we farm him a couple more times in order to get some sweet hollowed armor, and we also buy the jetpack from the Steampunker. Now we have better armor, better mobility, all we need is a better weapon. So we clear some space for the old one's army and hope to be strong enough to beat the Ogre. My hope was quickly extinguished when I actually did the event. Wow, they're tanky. Oh no, this is not going well. Could have gone better. Unfortunately, we didn't even get to the Ogre, but I was determined. So 2 platforms and a hammer later, and this event is as good as done. We finally get to Wave 7, and the Discord mod, Ogre, finally arrives. We farm him until we get the Phoenix Shot, a bow that can fire an actual phoenix. Pair this up with some holy arrows and it is time to take care of business. First up on the hit list is Skeletron Prime, a mechanical reanimation of Skeletron, who is angry and confused as to why the clothier is not in his dungeon anymore. Before he can collect his thoughts, I blast him with holy arrows. Unpopular opinion, but this is actually my favorite mechanical boss. Even in Master Mode, I am incredibly good at this fight. Except that time. After destroying some of his limbs, we take him out and proceed to go to sleep. We are rudely awakened in the middle of the night by a 2-man Destiny 2 fire team in the form of the twins. One of which will constantly charge at me while the other will sit back and snipe. Eventually Spasmatism will get pissed that his buddy can't hit a shot on me and furiously dashes at us. Luckily, I dodged all of them and he rage quits, leaving his friend all alone. We continue mocking and laughing at the now 1-man fire team, who, feeling desperate, switches on his Destiny 2 hacks, but it's unfortunately too late, and we beat him. With all 3 mechanical bosses defeated, we head to the jungle to take care of Plantera, aka Big Plant. And considering that I was struggling against a dandelion earlier in this video, I was rightfully worried. We put on some great armor, get some great buffs, have a great weapon, and we still get absolutely clowned on. The entire jungle is in fact laughing at us as I am hopelessly trying to beat Plantera. In fact, I think I can even hear Golem's muffled laughter coming all the way from the jungle temple. We leave, prematurely and unsatisfied. In order to overcome this massive skill issue that I am facing, I decide to do the pirate invasion in the hopes of getting the coin gun. So we head to the edge of the world to farm pirate maps. Once we have enough pirate maps, we begin the invasion, which consists of men trying to stab me, men trying to shoot me, women trying to shoot me, disease-ridden parrots, and an entire gravity-defying ship, which releases even more scurvy-ridden pirates. I did this event an ungodly amount of times. By now, I had beaten, abused, and harassed the pirates so much that even the goblins were starting to get jealous. After God knows how many pirate invasions, we finally get the coin gun to drop. Yes, yes, yes! Finally! With the coin gun in our possession, we then head to the merchant and sell quite literally everything that we got from the pirates, making him richer than the wealthiest oil baron. We head back to the jungle with the most malicious of intentions. Laughing maniacally the whole way there, we summon Plantera and proceed to absolutely shred her faster than the IRS, reminding you that it's tax season. Realizing how fast her health is going down, she transforms, but it's no use, as the last thing she sees is a flurry of coins smacking her in the face. We proceed to leave the jungle, again prematurely, but this time satisfied. We then head back to the dungeon in order to farm some ectoplasm to make naughty presents. With the frost moon underway, we are hopeful to get the razor pine. However, after beating a few everscreams, it was not looking promising. We even get taken out, which is when this sneaky everscream decided to go for a 25 kill streak nuke game and slay all my NPCs. Dick move. After avenging my poor NPCs, we finally get the razor pine. With this and our Spectre armor, we are more than ready to beat Golem. So we head to the jungle temple and haphazardly run through every trap imaginable. I do this every time because I simply cannot be bothered to get rid of them. Anyway, we get to Golem's quote-unquote boss room and summon him. I say quote-unquote because I do not respect him enough to think he's an actual boss. We do semicircles around him until he gets dizzy and his head literally pops out. From there on out, it's just a repeat of the same process, with the occasional "do you like my Spectre armor" comment, signaling out that his damage is in fact lower than my lifesteal. With Golem defeated, we head back to the dungeon, because ever since the old man moved out, 4 old men worshipping an ancient demon have moved in. Slaying them brings out their leader, the lunatic cultist. Big deal, I am not impressed. Oh. So I learned the hard way to not hit the clones, unless you want a giant spirit dragon to pop out and chase you to the ends of the earth. By the way, if the dragon is still alive, he will summon a flying squid head, and you will have to deal with both of them and the cultist, which resulted in me being unalive. Having successfully whittled down the cultist, we barely scrape out a victory, but we cannot rest as the Celestial Pillar event is right on top of us. I'm rather surprised though, cults don't usually have this many props. Usually they just tell you to drink stuff and give them money. But I'll bite, let's see what this fuss is about. We take care of the Stardust Pillar, arguably the easiest of the 4. We then eradicate the Nebula Pillar and make the Nebula Blaze, the first weapon we've crafted, since the Celestial Pillars are the only events that lets you craft the weapon instead of dropping them. We then proceed to get shot several times while trying to do the Vortex Pillar. And lastly, we angrily curse the name of whoever designed the Solar Pillar. Wait, what is that damage? What? But eventually we beat the Solar Pillar and see, nothing happened. I knew that cult was fake. Oh shit. With the Moonlord rapidly approaching, I am unfortunately out of potions and my healing is currently on cooldown. Nevertheless, I am confident in my ability to beat him, here and now. I am shocked. Alright, well, after being embarrassed by Squidward, we decide to pop every single potion imaginable and prepare for the final fight. Mr. Calamari over here is pretty strong, and I gotta especially watch out for his eye laser, which if I am not full health, will one-shot me. Luckily, the Nebula Blaze is doing 50% of the heavy lifting, while the other 50 is being done by our nurse. My favorite part of this fight is seeing the Moon Lord use his eye laser, then me teleporting home to avoid it, and then seeing the pale faces of my NPCs, as I have just teleported a rampaging ancient being into their living room. Once we destroy all his eyes, all that's left is his heart, which is much easier to deal with, since his attacks are less dangerous. Except that one, which made me panic and almost gave me a heart attack. However, after a few more shots, we successfully beat the Moon Lord and send his ass packing. With the Moon Lord defeated, we collect his goodie bag, trophy, and fly into the sunset, knowing that we have just beaten Master Mode Terraria with only event weapons. With that being said, hope you all enjoyed, have a lovely day, and I'll see you all on the next one.